Hi, Gemini. I'm Pam, and welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading for March 2015. This month, I laid out the Rainbow Tarot spread for you and pulled an additional card from Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Angels Oracle cards. Also, please stay tuned for the middle of every month because I'm going to be adding a special edition. This month it will be for luck. On with your reading, Gemini. First card you have here today is the Lover's card. And the Lover's card to me symbolizes two people that are in a passionate love relationship. This could be a lot of sex. It could be um, deep sensitivity of emotions and connections. But really, with the Lover's card, it does depend on what other cards are around it. There is an angel over top looking at these lovers. That can indicate that there's interference from another party. Doesn't have to indicate cheating, could just be outside forces being a disruption or an interference in a relationship. So it just depends on what's around it. I do get you're going to be gaining a lot of insights, and your sexual energy and chemistry is going to be high right now. I do hear that you may have an ongoing struggle going on between your heart and your mind. It's almost like you're not sure what you're feeling, like, or what you want out of a relationship. I do feel that for many of you Geminis, you are going to be embarking on a new romance or new partnership, romantic partnership of some sort, and it's going to be full of sexual chemistry, and that's going to be firing on all cylinders, and it's going to be, chemistry is going to be very high between the two of you. For any of you Geminis that have been feeling lonely or out of sorts, it's going to be the relationship or situation that's just what the doctor ordered, I'm hearing. For any of you married Geminis, I do feel that you are going to be considering moving or uh, moving on with your relationship, like taking it up to another level. If you're already married or if you're already coupled in a serious partnership, it's like taking it up to a next level. So I do feel that if you were stressed about money, that this is going to be alleviated for you now, or better times financially are coming if that's been any cause of stress for you in a relationship. If you've been a Gemini that's been feeling like you've been under a lot of stress and pressure that you wanted to get married, well, don't worry too much longer because I feel like your situation is about ready to change. I hear that there's a significant push coming to you from within yourself and also from the spirit world for you in that direction. The next card you have in this layout today, Gemini, you have Five of Rods. Now, Five of Rods is a card to me that symbolizes a struggle. This could be an internal struggle going on inside yourself, which they did actually indicate with the Lover's card. They did mention a struggle. But it can also be struggle with family members or co-workers. This card can also indicate jealousy. I do feel that you're going to find yourself in the middle of some kind of brouhaha. I feel that there's going to be, like I'm hearing the words man overboard. I feel that for some of you that are going to be in a business or company situation where there's going to be overthrowing of a lot of systems, like computer systems, ways of handling things, protocols, procedures, and even some staff. So it depends on what business you're in, what kind of company you work for. It's all going to be different because, Gemini, as I always say, it is a general reading and these messages are not going to apply to all of you Geminis. That's why I highly recommend, if any of these messages are confusing to you, you check out your rising sign, because you may get more clarity, or it may be more clear for you with listening to your rising sign. I'm hearing out with the old, in with the new. Out with the old moded, outdated ways of thinking or procedures, as I mentioned, and in with the new. And I feel that some of you Geminis might be angry about it, because I feel that some of this is happening abruptly. It's not so much that you didn't know of it coming in the wind, like hearing it through the trees or whatever. I feel that it's just the way it's being implemented is like bam, bam. It's not like, woo, let's like gradually do it. I feel that some of these changes are going to be abrupt, and it's going to cause some calamity for you. So for many of you, I feel this is actually coming up in a business or work related sense. For some of you, this Five of Rods is because some of you, not all of you, are going to be having a little bit of an internal struggle about this love relationship, where you're not really sure about it, or where you want it to go, or where your feelings lie, like being a little uncertain about it. So for some of you, this Five of Rods is actually just an explanation for you of the Lovers cards, because they are right next to each other in the reading. For some of you, it's not the case. For some of you, this card is a totally separate issue. I hear for some of you, you're going to be traveling outside of your comfort zone and taking a big leap of faith, and you're going to be considering leaving, giving up your post or your position, and leaving for a new job, or striking out on your own, just getting out of what you're doing, and also considering moving comes up here as well. And I hear that you can't combat with the system anymore. You feel that the system is too corrupt. So it just depends on where you're working or what you're doing. For those of you that are non-working, I feel that this struggle comes up as something going on inside of you. This struggle comes up inside of yourself, because you want to be making a bigger difference, and you feel like your emotions, thoughts, and feelings or position have been put in the back burner, like you've been put on the back burner. For those non-working Geminis, you're feeling less effective than you would like to feel, and I feel that this is causing you to want to make some kind of changes, systematic changes in you or your own life. So just depends on which Gemini you are here with this layout. Now, crowning your reading today, Gemini, you have the Five of Swords. Oh my gosh, you have two fives, and they're right next to each other. Fives are not great. I'm not going to sit here and make up a pretty story about fives. This Five of Swords is, whenever fives show up, they often indicate conflict, loss, or some kind of struggle. Okay? So you had Five of Rods. Now you have Five of Swords here. Five of Swords, although this is not as bad of a card as some of the other fives. The Five of Swords is a card like you're in a battle stance. This is a battlement pose where I feel like you are drawing a line in the sand, and you're saying, I'm not budging an inch. Like you're throwing the gauntlet down, you're drawing a line in the sand, and you're not going to get shoved off your game. But this card can also indicate, if you look closely at the card, you see the conspirators there in the background. This card can indicate that there's people that are either gossiping about you or conspiring against you. That can also be the case with Five of Swords. Doesn't mean that they're going to win, because you're standing there with that big sword and swords over your arm. You're in the battlement stance. Some of you may be coming up against a fight or a struggle, and this could be at your work. If you're fed up and you want to leave, and you're saying, I don't agree with this policy changes, I don't agree with the system changes, I don't agree with this all happening in a big like kabam all at once. I feel that you could be arguing with higher ups or superiors, could happen here. And for some of you, this may be disturbing to you, because you may be feeling like you're alone in your position. Maybe there isn't people rallying behind your words or your cause, and you may be feeling like, well, like you're standing there alone. Like, what are you going to do? Fight this battle alone? A lot of people are dissatisfied and unhappy around you, but they're not really brave enough to stand up and confront the systems or the higher ups in the manner in which you are. Comes up. One of my spirit guides loves the phrase "you're getting out of Dodge." I don't know who this is for me, but they say it a lot with different people, and it's coming up for you. I'm hearing you're going to be getting out of Dodge. You're not going to stay in this situation. You may feel like, oh, I can't afford that, or oh, that's too scary. I don't care whether that's your thought or not. I get you're going to do it, and I feel that it's going to be the best decision you ever made, and things are going to be working out in your favor. It is not going to be a bad or foolhardy move. So maybe you're going to have something already lined up and ready to go to. So, because I do not see you fearing it or worrying about it. I'm just not. So, next card in your reading, again, you've got some wacky cards. You've got two awesome cards with three weird ones in the middle. And this one that you have Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords next to Five of Swords, which was next to Five of Rods. Seven of Swords is a card that to me means you got to be careful somebody doesn't steal something from you. Steal your money, steal your possessions, steal your credit cards, steal your ideas, steal your inspirations, steal your like mate, steal your partner. It can also it can mean being deceived or being lied to. It could also mean you're doing that, but generally it's usually happening at you. So let's hear why. I do feel that you're going to be exiting. It seems to me like a work situation. If you're a non-working Gemini, I'm not sure yet why this is coming up for you, but first and foremost, it comes up as that you are going to be leaving. And I do feel, even though I pick up you getting mad or having arguments or confrontations about things you don't like that are changing at work, I do feel that you do leave your position gracefully. So I'm not feeling like you leave in a big whirlwind of a huff or a fight. It's not coming up to me that way. I do also hear that you're quite tired of having to go around and explain yourself to everybody. So for some of you Geminis, you've been put in the position where you're always having to explain yourself. And that happens at jobs, but it just seems like it's grating on your last nerve. That's the emotional energy I'm picking up for you from this situation. I do feel that you're angry about being put in this situation. There is you being talked about and gossiped about does come up. So even though that shows up in the Five of Swords card and not in the picture of the Seven of Swords, I am hearing it. I do hear there's a great deal of mistrust about this situation. Non-working Geminis, you have to be careful because I feel that there is someone or some people lying to you about something. It could be that some people in your family know some information that they're withholding from you. For some of you Geminis out there, somebody that you're close to has a health problem that other family members are keeping from you because they're afraid that you're going to freak out and get too upset. So for some of you Geminis, there's some omission of information. Now, that's what I'm picking up for non-working Geminis. For you working Geminis, I also hear that there's been some information that slipped through the cracks that should not have gotten out. So I'm not sure what this is about. It seems like it's circling around finances and financial information. It could have to do with trade and stocks, or some of that information. It's very weird because I feel You may also have somebody that comes to you and gives you some accusation that there's something that you shouldn't have done. Again, I do not feel like it's some real impropriety on your part. I'm just getting some real upheavals at your place of employment for you working Geminis. Again, like I said, I've already said it, system changes and things happening abruptly and quickly. Uh, some people getting, downsized out. There is a little bit of that, not overboard, but things getting shifted around and changed. That's all part of it. But I feel like you're you are getting gossiped about a little bit at your work. There is some of that going on and some irritations coming to you from other people. I feel when you get mad, then they're going to start blaming you a little bit or saying there was something you shouldn't have done or something you shouldn't have said to a potential client or to a buyer or to whatever that scenario would fit in the work that you do, because I do feel they're going to try to blame you for something a little bit. So, um, but I do feel that things are going to work out in your favor no matter what, Gemini, because I do feel that many of you are going to be like, you know what, working here is too much of a cross to bear. I'm done with it. I'm moving on to greener pastures, and I see you getting out and striking out. Some of you striking out on your own. Some of you are going to become your own bosses and your own leaders. You could be getting involved with selling real estate, or if you're in the stock market, you could be starting your own company or your own business on your own, where you are helping people that way, and you end up getting some people to work underneath you. It all depends. Some of you are going to get out of there and you're going to start working for somebody else that at a place that's really calm and set and not having this uproarious situation. Um, it really comes up like these cards really, it all depends on, what's going on with you. If you're a non-working Gemini, I feel like it's all familial situations where you have people that are keeping things from you. They're not telling you everything. And also there's guilt associated with that. And I do feel that you're going to uncover some stuff that family hasn't let you know about. And I feel that you're going to be quite perturbed, let's put it that way, for you non-working Geminis. For most of you, it seems like all work-related issues there. Now, your outcome card of the tarot portion of your reading, Gemini, you do have an excellent card. Woohoo! Thank goodness, because you had some weird ones there. You had some good in the beginning, and then you had some weird ones. You do have Ace of Pentacles. And Ace of Pentacles to me is a card that symbolizes financial abundance and blessings financially coming from God and divine source. I do hear some of you are going to be at the throes, going through the throes of what to do about your money, and that your money is going to be coming to you through a new or different source. I hear it. Many of you are going to be getting ready to take on a new challenge. I hear many of you are going to be really poring over some books or the internet or studies about what you can do differently, like what you're like studying. But it, to me, right there, it doesn't really feel like back to school studying. It seems like studying up and investigating things on your own. And they're saying burning the midnight oil. And I'm seeing you sitting up late at night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You're still like looking over things or researching things, analyzing things. Some of you may be brushing up on studies because you could be taking your career in a whole different direction and you want to learn up about what you want to pursue. I'm not seeing it so much as a going back to school card. It's not, the messages aren't coming up to me as going back to school. It's you studying things on your own through computer, periodicals, journals, books, whatever, or all of the above to help you in, your decision making process of what you're going to be doing. I'm also hearing any money for you that has been out of whack. You're going to be working on getting that back on track. By the beginning of next year, you're going to have more money than you did at the start of this year, 2015. You really have a strong angelic presence at this time of somebody, some angel that's really guarding you, watching over you, and protecting you right now. It's very strong around you right now. You know, it's really like Geminis are going to lead the way. You're going to be forging ahead and leading the way. I hear you're going to be taking things up to a higher level and operating from a position of a whole new ball game for you. You're not going to be dealing with the whole cluster of idiots and, you know, problems that you were dealing with anymore. You're going to be elevated and operating from a whole different plane. February was a little bit of a struggle for some of you Geminis, and March is still. But I hear once you get out of March into April, it starts to see like you're making your way out of it. There's a great deal of success about ready to happen and be laid right at your feet. You're going to be taking a big leap of faith and crossing the borders. I hear you may be leaving, crossing the borders of your state. So you may be seeking new employment or work outside of the state where you live. There is going to be coming to you an offer of more money. You are going to take it. You're going to jump on it and you're going to advance. I feel for some of you that a door is going to open and you may question it at first because you may feel like there's marginal ability for you to grow or advance at what you're going to do, but you know that there is potential for advancement there, so you're going to be willing to take that leap. And I feel that that leap, getting your foot in that door and taking that step, is going to make all the difference in the world for what's going to come up for you and what's going to happen. It's going to generate a lot of money for you, a lot more money than whatever you've made, and more success for you. So I do feel it's like the brass ring coming around on the merry-go-round, and you are going to take it. So that's actually a very good successful card, but I do feel like you have to go through some trying stuff to get to it. The card that I pulled for you from the Doreen Virtues Healing with the Angels Oracle cards, Gemini, you got the card of signs. So whenever this comes up, I feel like you need to pay attention to the signs. You have spirit guides and angels giving you signs. I do hear some of you Geminis are going to be attending a large party or a gathering, and this is going to be a great boost to you, especially to your ego. You're going to be making some headway with some very important people. I do feel that many of you Geminis are actually okay with leaving the old world that you were experiencing behind you. Many of you Geminis have actually been contending with or putting up with nonsense for far too long here. It's like take everything you've learned and now put it to good use. A year from now, you are going to be dining in 5-star restaurants, going to 5-star hotels, going on luxury vacations. Like, you know, maybe that's extreme for some of you and you can't see that. It does apply to many of you Geminis out there, that this is going to be the world you're going to be operating in. That's the world you're already used to operating in. Well, then it's just going to be more of that. The sky's the limit and beyond, because you've got a lot of success here that the guides say that that's going to be laid at your feet. If this sounds highly improbable for you with your life, just know this, that whatever degree you feel your life is at, it's going to be elevated. Your circumstances are going to be improving and will be moving up to a higher level than what you've been experiencing in the past 7 to 8 months, maybe even up to 2 years ago. that your life in 2015 really has some grand events that are going to take place where you're going to be stepping up and stepping out, emotionally speaking, and also financially speaking, and success wise as well. So I hope this reading was of help to you and made some sense to you Geminis out there. I want to say, please don't forget to check in the middle of the month for the special edition that I'm going to be doing this month and every month from here on out. This month will be about luck. So I want to wish you a great month of March, Geminis, and many blessings and peace.